Hello students, Mr. Young here with our Chapter 12 review. Andrew Jackson was a tough cookie, but our study of him is pretty much over now, and we had a cool virtual lesson. Time to move on. The next chapter is called Manifest Destiny. We're going to be learning all kinds of cool things like about Oregon country. That means we're probably going to hit up the Oregon Trail. Florida and Texas become states. There's a war with Mexico. And then we learn about California and Utah. I have to tell you, there's a lot of conflict in this chapter. Oregon Trail's pretty cool. Statehood for Texas means we're talking about the Mexican Revolution. War with Mexico obviously means the Mexican War. And then California and Utah, I think that means we're getting into gold rush territory. There's a lot of exciting U.S. history coming up. But let's talk about this test real quick. We have Chapter 12. Your basic tests here. As always, I suggest maybe reread that chapter. Take a look at the study guide. Chilling here. There it is. Yep, our study guide. If you can answer all these questions, you're probably in great shape. So maybe reread the chapter, look at the study guide, and if there's anything you need to look up, look it up. And don't forget, it's an open notes test technically. So if you have an idea of where information is found in the book, that's pretty good too. Now, there is one special thing about this test I want to run by you. Let's take a look at it. It's a pretty standard test, starting with matching and going through multiple choice questions that you may have seen before, you may not have seen before, and then it ends with an essay question. This is what I want to talk about. Please explain the difference between plurality and a majority. Which do you need to become president? So there can be confusion here. I believe there was confusion last year, and so I wanted to run over it. Remember, a plurality means that you have the most, but you don't have a majority. So a majority is like 51% or more. So if you have 100 people vote and you get 51 votes, you have a majority. Now let's say there are 3 candidates, and you end up with candidate A has 30%, candidate B has 30%, and candidate C has 40%. That candidate C has the most with 40, but not a majority, which requires 51%. So a plurality is basically you win, you have the most, but you're under a majority, which is 50%. So I hope that makes sense to you. Let's do it one more time. Let's say myself, so I'm Mr. Yund, and then the science teacher, Miss Davini, and the music teacher, Miss Frico. We're all being voted on to be the teacher of the year here at PALCS. And there's 100 kids voting. 100 kids vote. 30 kids vote for Miss Davini. 30 kids vote for Mr. Yund. And 40 kids vote for Miss Frico. Miss Frico would have a plurality. She would have the most, but she wouldn't have a majority, which is 51%. So that's how that works. Plurality is the most, but not a majority, and majority is 51% or more. Which do you need to become president? You need a majority. You need over 51% of the Electoral College. So I wanted to run over that with you. If you watch this video, I pretty much just gave you the answer. So I encourage you to watch the review video, and we'll see how you do. I hope a lot of you watch it, so you do well on that. That's what I have for you today. I just wanted to make sure I went over that again, because I don't remember going over in too much detail when we went through it in the lesson. I just can't quite remember if we did that too well, and I don't want you to fail. That's it. We'll be moving on to Manifest Destiny. It's January. We're getting to about halfway through the school year. Keep on trucking and keep on working hard. Take care.